Today, we're going to be talking about Social Security and the spousal benefit that's available. I hope you enjoy. So today, we're going to be talking about the spousal benefit that's available on Social Security or with Social Security. And frequently, the questions that I get tell me that there is some confusion about that spousal benefit, who's eligible. So I'm going to swap this over to a little Pivo camera that I've got so I can jot some information down as we go along. So when you start thinking about the Social Security benefit, you've got the worker, and the worker is generating a benefit, and that benefit is known as the primary insurance amount. So we'll just say PIA. That's the primary insurance amount, okay? And when you get your Social Security statement, that's the big black number. Usually it's up in the upper right-hand, or it used to be in the upper right-hand column or corner of the statement. And basically what that says is, if you wait till full retirement age, they're estimating that's what your benefit will be once you start drawing if you don't draw early. Now that benefit is the primary benefit, and then there's a spousal benefit that can spin off of that. Now, for that spousal benefit to come into play, the worker has to have been married to a spouse for at least 12 months. That spouse has to be old enough to draw. And if that spouse waits until their full retirement age to start drawing, they're going to draw 50% of the worker's primary insurance amount. So if the worker was drawing $2,000 a month primary insurance amount, the spouse benefit would be $1,000 if that spouse waited until full retirement age. Now, if that spouse started drawing benefits prior to full retirement age, then there would be a reduction. And I'm not going to get into that because it depends on how early you started, and it gets into a bunch of fractional calculations and all, which would go beyond the time that we have here. But just know that spousal benefit is available even if this spouse has never worked outside the home or paid into Social Security. So that was what it was originally designed for. You had a worker that was out working, paying into the system. You had maybe a stay-at-home spouse that was raising children. When they retired, the worker would draw the worker benefit, and then the stay-at-home spouse could draw the spousal benefit. Well, now that we have a lot of households that are dual income, sometimes the spousal benefit comes into play and sometimes it doesn't. If the individual that's eligible for the spousal benefit maybe had a lower income job, they might still draw some spousal benefit. For example, if this worker here had paid into the system, but let's just say they had a lighter income, and so maybe they had created a Social Security benefit of about $700. Well, if they can draw $700 off of their own work history, but they're then also eligible potentially for a spousal benefit, in this scenario, if they were full retirement age, they would draw their $700, okay? Then they would pick up another $300 of what we would call a top-off benefit coming from right here. So they would still end up drawing the $1,000, but part of it would be coming from their own work history. Part of it would be coming as being eligible for the spousal benefit. These pieces can all be coordinated together. And of course, Social Security has a unique tax structure or ramifications that will apply to it. So when you coordinate these pieces together, oftentimes you can end up creating more value, and in some cases, lowering your overall tax cost. Next week, we're going to talk about ex-spouse benefits. Again, A lot of people aren't aware that that's available. So if that's something that you would have an interest in, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and then it'll notify you when that particular video drops. But we're going to be going into the spousal benefit. But if you've got questions, I'm sorry, we're going to be going into the ex-spouse benefit next week. If you got questions about Social Security, how to develop a retirement plan that you can be comfortable will last at least as long as you do, give us a call here at Westside Advisors and Insurance Services. I hope you have a great week.